get quiet for a few minutes. Hold on. We need Violet. Violet, where are you? Lenny, see if you can get people to come to the middle. I'll do a quick talk, 10 minutes, and then, all right? Everybody can gather around, people in the back, people in the front, people between all the cars. That's pretty amazing, right? Oh, they're quiet. Well, anyway, without further ado, let me introduce the man who's making this all possible, Lenny Shiller. I want to thank Lenny for opening up his garage today to everybody. And this is generously offered to do this to help Brooklyn Free School. I'm the director of Brooklyn Free School, Alan Berger. So if you want to talk to me after Lenny gives a little talk, I can fill you in on what the school's about. There's also a lot of parents and kids from the school here today. Parents and kids from Brooklyn Free School, raise your hand or yell out. Okay, so a lot of our community here today. I could also tell you about our unique school. And thank you all for coming, and let me hand it over to Lenny. Also, thanks to Maria, the ice cream girl from Bensonhurst. She's reciprocating because I think I once made egg creams for one of her events. So now she's here making ice cream sundaes for this event. But no, she does a lot of goodwill work. On the holiday time, she gives away ice cream to all the kids in her neighborhood. And she has a website. If you go look, Maria the ice cream girl. The first thing, nothing here is for sale, just so you know, right off the bat. Just want you to know that. Secondly, the school has little midget cars, so make sure each child here, and that doesn't include the adults, make sure that each child gets one of those little mini cars. As I said on New York One, I had asked my mother when I was a little kid for this little red truck that I wanted, and my parents couldn't afford it. So this is what you call a classic example of overcompensation. This is exactly what it is. Back in 1967, my grandmother gave up driving, so there's a 1936 Chevy underneath the Monroe clock over there. That was my first car. And I was only 2 years old. I couldn't drive, obviously, in 67. And then there was a neighbor had this 54 Mercury, Mr. White. He was an attorney, lived till 100, and his wife lived till 100. So maybe having old cars is a good thing. So he had that 54 Mercury in his garage on the same block where my parents were, and I offered him $200 for the car, and I would visit him like every week to try and buy that car. It had 19,000 miles on it, and finally he decided to, he wasn't using it, he relented and he sold it to me. He said, but wait, I'm not taking $200 for that car. He said, I want $250. So I ran home, I got $50. Now years later, after both he and his wife had passed, again they both lived till 100, in his 90s, he took the subway into his law office. His nephew told me that in those days he had $3,000 a month in dividend checks coming in. And yet he held me up for an extra $50 for that car. Can you believe that? And then the following, that was 1968. the red Jaguar in the corner, a neighbor on the same block. Luckily, I grew up on East 19th Street off Avenue H. Stuart Sagar. He had. Oops, did I lose the? I think I lost the mic. Yeah, this. Hold on. Let's see if this. Oh, I'll just have to use. I'll have to use my voice. So this neighbor, Stuart Sagar, had in his garage a '53 Jaguar Roadster that he wasn't using, and so he actually gave me that car. Now keep in mind that that car was merely a 15-year-old sports car. Exactly. It was merely a 15-year-old sports car, and who knew that it would become one of the ultimate cars? Not that particular one, but the similar model was used in a Waterman's pen commercial, and they said, this is the ultimate car and this is the ultimate pen. So it's really became one of the ultimate sports cars. That's perhaps the only really valuable car in here. Aside from, actually, the little Messerschmitt that you saw coming in, that's a little German car. It's a 191cc motorcycle engine. And it's a three-wheel car, two wheels in the front and one in the back. I call it a frog on wheels. The German engineering is so amazing. The car has no reverse. It's a symmetrical two-stroke engine. In order to have reverse, you turn the key off, you turn it on in another direction, and the engine spins opposite. So basically, not only do you have, nice to see you, not only do you have 4 forward speeds, but you have 4 speeds in reverse. But can you imagine parking the car? You have to turn the car on, and one way you turn it off, turn it on, and the other way is like it's easier just to push the car into a spot. So I'm off again. I think there's a problem with this mic. Anyway, yeah, so in order to go, so I actually drove the car. I got the car running, and I drove the car to the corner, but it felt like I was in a toy. It didn't really feel like a car. Alan has the touch. It feels like a toy. It doesn't really feel like a car. But if you remember the movie Brazil, that car was used exclusively. They only used Messerschmitts. They had bubble tops rather than that convertible top. And people ask, how do you get in the car? You basically open the entire top and you climb in. So, I don't know if I'll ever drive it again. Maybe I'll drive it to one of the fairs, the 5th Avenue Fair or the 7th Heaven Street Fair. Also, there are some famous cars here because in the late 80s and early 90s, I used to get called to be in music videos. So you see the green Chrysler 300 convertible, the 65. Remember the Love Shack video? I'm driving a Chrysler, it's as big as a rail. That is the actual car. That was shot up in New Windsor, New York, which is near Newburgh. Another famous car is the yellow. Oh, I'm out of it.
What, $200 for that?
Mic. I have to get a new mic. That yellow car, that was in Smooth back in 1999. Santana and Rob Thomas. And I also used to get called for a lot of movie work. The soda truck, you see that's a 47 International. That was first in the Paul Mazursky film Enemies: A Love Story with the late Ron Silver. In that was 88. In 91, it was in the Malcolm X story, and you see it clearly in the opening scenes. And back in 99, it was in Pollock. I was one of the agents providing cars for the movie Pollock. And you actually see that car, that soda truck, when Jackson Pollock and Lee Krasner are sitting in a coffee shop. You see that truck in the background for about a minute. But pretty much I got away in 99. That was the last big movie I worked on. And I pretty much have concentrated on just being a car collector of the same. I also have, well, this is like 2/3 of my collection. I also have another 19 cars, mostly foreign cars, 2 American and 17 foreign. Well, not 17, 2 American, 3
foreign cars here, and a number of foreign cars. The oddball foreign cars, like a Renault Dauphine, which was considered the worst car ever made. Very few, but one of the worst cars ever made. So basically, it's more fun to socialize and have ice cream. But if there are any questions, again, nothing here is for sale. It's a collection. And people always say to me when they come in, and it happened today, someone said, they looked around and they said,
"We can't hear you back here."
What's going to happen to all of this when you pass? That's what people say to me all the time. And, you know, I don't know. I guess it'll get auctioned off. I don't know what'll happen. And I usually say, but not soon. But not soon.
Lenny,
Yeah.
when you got your mother's Chevy and a Mercury, where did you keep these cars?
Oh, that was my parents had a house on East 19th Street. I kept them there. East 19th and Avenue 8. The Buick.
Okay, we got it working. The 55 Buick Roadmaster over there, my father did accounting for the man who owned that. When he died, his wife wanted to get rid of the car. This was back in '79. That was like my fourth or fifth car. I ran right over and I bought the car. The way to get these cars is to be available with cash in your hand. The Woody wagon, you see the Woody wagon with the surfboard? That was owned by a florist in Queens. And he advertised it for sale, and 30 people called him. But his wife somehow took a liking to me. And so when he said I could get the car, I was there with the cash and a tow truck the very next morning and took the car back. So, you know, that's how I decided I wanted a Packard Patrician. And you see the blue and white car behind me, that's a 51 Packard Patrician. I saw one for sale. I ran right out and bought it, and it got me in big trouble because the guy had a fire truck, and I bought that also at the time. And I tried hiding it. That was hard to do. Hiding it from my family was impossible to hide a fire truck. But I would get an idea, oh, the ice cream truck I bought because someone in Brooklyn had it. It was a Brooklyn route truck. And he put it up for sale for like $5,500. And I hated to see the truck leave Brooklyn because it's always been in Brooklyn. So I bought it just on a fluke. And every year at the last day of the Brooklyn Free School, I bring the ice cream truck filled with ice cream and I give it out to the kids. And I go also to a senior center and I give out ice cream over there. Any other questions that people might have?
Yeah, where's Vinny? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, yes. I would only add to the collection if it's something really unusual, and I'm really into like the early cars. So I now have a 29 Durant, the 24 Star. You saw the old car with the star on the front? That's a 24 Star.
Can I have it when you're dead?
Now, interestingly, William Durant, the man who made that Durant, it's a rumble seat coupe.
I don't want that car. I want the other one.
He was the founder of General Motors back in 08. And now people think, you know, Chevrolet. Chevrolet was a man, Louis Chevrolet. Buick was a man, David Buick. The Dodge brothers were brothers. They made transmissions for Henry Ford. They started out as bicycle mechanics. They were notorious alcoholics, and I know at least one of them was killed in a car accident. You'll drink to that, right? But Durant made Star. That Star was owned by a man in West Virginia for 57 years, and he advertised it in the AACA magazine. And when I called him, he told me that he had taken his prom date to the prom in that car, but it wasn't his wife at the time. It was his date at the time. Then he married somebody and kept the car for 57 years. He has since passed, and I keep in touch with his wife in West Virginia. But it's a very nice car. I had, you know, Gridlock Sam Schwartz. I had it in the city for an event, and I drove him back from the city to Brooklyn in that car. So, by the way, all these cars run. Believe it or not, all the cars I own run. I can't guarantee that they all stop. But they all run. And you see all the boxes around? Most of those boxes are filled with car parts. So when like Steve's Auto Parts went out of business, I bought all his fuel pumps, like 900 fuel pumps. So I figured I never have to go out to buy a fuel pump.
When Maddie's closed, I bought all of his brake parts, so I have all the brake parts.
This building was by the way, this building was an oven for the California Pie Company. That's the reason for the tools.
And there were no columns. There were no columns here, there were no columns. There were no columns. The only columns were an engine hoist, because in '68 the pie company went out, and in '76, from '76 to '96, this was a truck repair shop. And the reason you see the red brick tile all around is because where I'm standing was an oven, and the tile surrounded the oven. So there was maybe one or two questions, and then we'll let you socialize and get ice cream something. Yes?
How many cars for 61?
61, I have a 61 Bentley in my other garage. 1961 Bentley. You're not telling me you were born in 1961. Your mom was born in 61? You just gave away your mom's age. Therefore.
Don't tell anybody who she is.
39 DeSoto Coupe I just bought because I always wanted a coupe. And 39 is a magnificent car. The grill is incredible. Much nicer than a 40. The owner died. The owner of that car died in 1992, and his wife finally sold the car. So I just got that car, and I need to do a little bit of work on it. But it does run. That's a very nice coupe. Yes. Probably Jay Leno, but my claim, like one of Jay Leno's Duesenbergs is worth more than everything I own. But my claim to fame is that I do it with ease. Jay Leno has a staff. I do it myself.
You ever meet him?
No, I came close. They wanted a convertible when he came here, when his show was shot from here. No, I never met him. Yeah, another question?
What kind of car is the car to be tuning?
Which one? Which one in the front? Oh, the Messerschmitt, the little one? That's a Messerschmitt. It's a three-wheel car. In New York State, it's technically a motorcycle. It was made by the airplane company Messerschmitt after World War II because they couldn't produce anything that smacked of military production. So they made these little cars. It has a 191cc Sachs motorcycle engine. And as I say, they used those cars in the movie Brazil, but they had a bubble top. Any, yes? The oldest car is the 1924 Star. And the newest car in this garage right now is a '68 Olds Cutlass convertible, which is under the '48 Dodge. Yeah. I drive a Mini, a new Mini. I have an original Mini, a '64, and I drive a new Mini. Yeah.
On the Airstream trailer, what is the...
The Airstream trailer is a '58. It was in St. Louis. I saw it advertised. I negotiated. I bought it. It took me a long time to get someone to bring it here, but I had a guy with a lowboy bring it here.
Most Airstream trailers are sought after.
Airstream is very sought after, and that's all original. Very nice car. Very nice trailer. All right, if anyone has questions, you can just come up and ask me. Enjoy the ice cream. Have a nice Sunday. That's Alan.